We've all heard of the term size matters, and in most cases it does. But in the GPU world it doesn't, as this tiny little GPU here performs better than my 8GB RX 580. Okay, so we're not comparing apples with apples here. The 580 was released in 2017 and this, the 12GB RTX A2000, was released in 2021, and today we are going to be seeing how it performs specifically in Starfield, which is a resource hungry game. The GPU shares the same GA106 graphics processor as the GeForce RTX 360, but that is fully unlocked using 3840 shaders, whereas this has 3328. If we head on over to the Tech Power Up website and search for this GPU, the minimum GPU spec for Starfield is the 1070 Ti, which is 32% better in comparison, and the RX 5700 being 43% better. So we can confirm that this GPU does sit below minimum requirements. Here are my current specs, and I am meeting the requirements on the CPU. Memory I am exceeding, having 32GB, and I am also running the game on an NVMe drive. Ignore the lava lamp, it's not used during gaming, so has no effect on the temperature. I am on a 23-inch Dell screen with a screen resolution of 1920x1080 at 60Hz. I am going to be setting the game resolution to low. I have installed the DLSS modification, which is essential if you are running an NVIDIA card. This will improve the graphics, however this won't increase FPS, but you can play at lower settings whilst maintaining quality. Here on one of the planets on low settings we are getting 60 frames per second, dropping down to 58 frames per second. The graphics do look good, the edges are not rough, which is what I experienced on the RX 580. I am not sure if it's a game update or this DLSS mod, but I had to change the render resolution in order to smooth those edges on the RX 580. GPU temps are low at around 55 degrees and the GPU utilization is at 85%. GPU memory is at under 4GB. CPU is hitting around 45% utilization. And finally, the system memory is at 13GB. I am going to change the settings to medium. FPS has stayed the same out here in the open. GPU temps have gone up by 10 degrees. GPU memory usage is over 4GB now. The graphics does look better though. Let's head over to areas where there's more detail and characters. So the FPS has dropped to between low to mid 50s. GPU temp has gone up to 75 degrees. GPU utilization is at over 90%. CPU is around 40, which I thought it would be more. Let's get a bit of action here. Please don't judge my terrible shooting. I'm playing on my Xbox controller. GPU temperature is around the same. GPU processor is hitting 96% usage and memory usage is the same. We are getting 55 to 60 frames per second. CPU is not going over 46%. All in all, I am happy with the quality and performance at medium. I'm curious to try high settings. So the FPS has dropped to low 40s and high 30s. This is probably not a good setting, as I know in the city it will drop further. And on that subject, let's head over to New Atlantis. FPS has dropped to mid 40s to mid 50s on medium setting. It's hit mid 30s in some places. GPU temps are the same, and so is utilization. GPU memory has increased to 4.7GB. System memory is hitting almost 14GB now. CPU usage has increased and is sitting around 55 to 60%. During fight scenes we are seeing high 30s and low 40s. Again, apologies for my lack of aim. In my opinion, the game is very much playable at these settings, considering the GPU is below minimum requirements and it's not designed for gaming. I would also say that the 6GB version of this card will be fine, as the VRAM usage has not gone over 5GB, and both cards are almost identical in specification. If you want to see me put this GPU through benchmark tests and other games where hopefully I can utilize the full VRAM, then you may want to watch the video on screen next. Thank you for watching.